Hello everyone, and welcome to the JPI CoNECT webinar series. In this short presentation, I will tell you what the JPI CoNECT project does, and I will introduce the webinar series and our schedule. The JPI CoNECT project, or Collective Networks for Everyday Community Resilience and Ecological Transition, is a project funded through the JPI Urban Europe funding scheme about capacities for urban transformation. The aim of the project is to enhance the resilient capacities of urban communities by recognizing, mapping, connecting, and strengthening everyday practices of collective resilience. If you want to know more about our project, you can check our website www.jpiconnect.eu. Now let me tell you a little bit about what the project did over the last couple of years. We started with a mapping exercise in which we basically tried to understand community resilience initiatives in cities around Europe. And we did this mapping activity in several countries, including Romania, the Netherlands, France, Sweden, Spain. And in each of these countries, we chose 2 cities. So what you see here on this slide is some examples of how those maps look like. And you can find the map with all the initiatives that we have identified also on our website. In the next phase of the project, we dived a little deeper into neighborhood context through interviews with professionals, community organizers, and members of community initiatives. This took different forms in the different countries. In some places, we did more participant observation and shadowing of activities, while in others, we focused on workshops and co-creation sessions, as you can see from the pictures. In the last year, we have really focused on what we call the CoNECT labs and the related activities. These were kind of living lab activities that took place in the different countries. And of course, they had different characters and different focus depending on the partners in each of the countries. So for example, we had more activities around schools in France, but we also had a fellowship scheme in Romania that involved several universities in the city of Bucharest. And in the Netherlands, for example, we did a studio as part of the Urbanism and Architecture program at the Eindhoven University of Technology. In Sweden, our partners worked on community pedagogies, labbing, and this took the form of multiple activities with community groups. Now, our last year is really focused on disseminating, connecting, developing tools for community organizing, and improving collaborations between public administrations, professionals, and community groups. So as part of this dissemination activities, we decided to start this webinar series. Now, what is the webinar series all about? The main purpose of the webinar series is to connect several JPI ENUTC, this Capacities for Urban Transformation scheme, projects that have a similar approach and focus. So for that, we created a mailing list, and this webinar series is kind of broadcasted in this mailing list of similar projects. We want also to reach out to a broader audience and share and learn about key topics. So in this sense, what we aim to do is to post this webinars and the talks in the webinars to a playlist on YouTube that is available for everyone to watch. We also aim to collectively edit a publication, and with all those that have participated as speakers in the webinar series, we will have separate conversations about how that might happen. Now, what is the schedule of the webinar series? We started in March 2024 with a webinar on transformative learning, where we had as special guests Professor Ashraf Salama and Dr. Antonia Bogadi. In June of 2024, we did a second webinar focusing on collective networks and urban commons with presentations by Dr. Christian Lamker, Dr. Esra Jan, Dr. Beatrice De Carli, and Professor Doina Petrescu. This was in tandem with an exhibition opening in Eindhoven. In September of 2024, we are going to have a third webinar series that focuses on living lab and living lab methodologies and approaches. This in tandem with a larger symposium organized at ArcDes in Stockholm. And as special guests, we will have Dr. Eva Wolf, Dr. Cecile Sachs-Olsen, and Dr. Hanna Eriksson-Aalto. The last of our webinar series will take place in January 2025. The topic is civic resilience, and the speaker list is still to be decided. Now, I hope that you enjoy all the videos in this playlist, and I look forward to seeing some of you at our last edition in January.